Subhanallah, so Hazrat Abdullah bin Zayd radiallahu anhu, like he was the means to bring about such a great amal into our deen, approved by Rasulullah, and that is the adhan. We learn who Allah makes a means to good gets the reward of others who do the same. من دل على خير فله مثل أجر فاعله. And the one who shows others good avenues gets the reward of the doer. And the one who brings alive a sunnah practice in Islam, others practice it thereafter, he will get the reward of those who practice it. And their rewards would not be diminished. They would get full and he would get full as well. And the one who does wrongs and entices others to do the same would get their sin as well. His own sin and the sin of those who perpetrate that wrong. So they would get the sin as well as himself. May Allah make us of those who would spread a wonderful legacy, goodness and peace in this world. Interestingly, when the verses of the Quran Kareem concerning charity, مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يُقْرِضُ اللَّهَ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا فَيُضَاعِفَهُ لَهُ وَلَهُ أَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ, who would loan to Allah a pure, wonderful loan, so that Allah may multiply it for him, and for that individual would be a noble, honorable reward. And the Quran Kareem says you would never acquire righteousness until you spend of what you love. And whatever you spend, Allah is fully aware of it. As he heard these verses of the Quran Kareem, he was reminiscing within himself, so I'm going to die and leave everything. I rather invest by Allah, and all this wealth that I have in this world will all be left behind. He had this garden that had belonged to his parents. He worked there, cared for it for his parents, but he felt that this is an opportunity to acquire rewards for his parents and himself. And he came to Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, my garden here is for Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gave it for Allah without reluctance, without even doubting or consulting. He just wanted to give it for Allah before being hindered in any way. We learn also, when wanting to do a good deed, try to do it quickly for Allah, because the devil would hinder us in many, many ways to stop us from doing the good for Allah's pleasure. Procrastination is a great, treacherous means of deprivation. But the Sahabi gave it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was accepted by Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When his parents had known that what he had, that garden, what was given, they were elderly, of very advanced age. They said, oh Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this garden our son gave you was the means of our livelihood. Allah's beloved returned the garden to them. So Hazrat Abdullah now worked in the garden as it's now possessed by his parents, because Rasulullah ﷺ gave it to his parents, and he would spend from there for himself, for his family. And when his parents passed on and they didn't have heirs besides him, Abdullah, Rasulullah ﷺ returned the garden to him as inheritance. And also very importantly, we have to remember our ummah, the ummah of the beloved of Allah ﷺ. Allah's beloved ﷺ said, my ummah is like one body. If any limb in that body is in pain, the entire body suffers insomnia, difficulty, due to the one limb suffering. We have to think of our people who are suffering now in Gaza. Mothers have lost so much. Parents have lost their children. Imagine what a challenge. Children losing the parents, parents losing their children. And the reaction of the people was, La hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. And still they are being bombarded and their children are being targeted. There was a doctor, subhanallah, that had to deliver a baby of a beheaded mother. Imagine, this is just one example, but so many. Mothers have lost many, many children. And now the hardest thing, Ya Allah, is the children that are few that are left, so many of whom are amputated, paralyzed. But now the mothers and fathers are seeing their children starve. Every one of us, respected ummah, have to participate in doing what we can. Allah reward the Flotilla, subhanallah, those ships that got together, subhanallah, to try their best to play a great role in trying to get aid into the holy lands, Ya Allah. These lands of Gaza are Mubarak lands. Our people there have been offered so much to leave, but they still stay there on behalf of the ummah. They can go anywhere else. But what about Gaza? What about Aqsa? That's why we all have to make dua. Remember, du'as are guaranteed. Every dua, subhanallah, is Allah's help going towards them, is Allah's protection going towards them. Every dua is accepted every time we make dua for Gaza. Think of how we'll make dua for our child that's very sick with such pain and fervor, or a close relative that has passed on. More than that we should cry and beg Allah for Gaza. Allah reward this team, subhanallah, that have embarked on this amazing journey. In the ahadith of Rasulullah SAW, there's a chapter of striving in the way of Allah. That is, yes, jihad fi sabilillah via the sea. Hazrat Haram radiallahu anha narrates to her nephew, Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu, that Rasulullah SAW rested in her home and he was smiling, a brimming smile in his dream. And when he awakened, she asked him, Allah's beloved SAW explained, what brings me joy is my ummah was shown to me crossing the sea for Allah, and they looked to me kal muluki al asirra, like kings on thrones. Look at her reaction. Oh Allah's Nabi SAW, make dua, Allah make me of them. Allah's beloved made dua for her. Then he rested again and saw a similar dream, and she asked and requested to be from them. Imagine her reaction. And Arabs had this inherent fear of water, but she didn't react in that way, that could never be us. She asked in dua, ask Allah to make me of those who strive in Allah's way. Allah's beloved said, I saw you with the first group, Anti min al-awwalin, you were of the first. And she went in the path of Allah years later with her husband Hazrat Ubadah bin Samit radiallahu anhu and Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, crossing the sea to Cyprus. And during that expedition she had passed on, Ya Allah. It was her son Abu Ubay radiallahu anhu who was the last Sahabi to pass on in Aqsa, according to one of the preferred views. Those who are crossing the sea, subhanallah, at this moment, Allah make it easy for them. They have been intercepted, they are being detained. Such a great sacrifice. The Muslims among them, Allah bless them, Allah give them barakah, Allah preserve deen in their progenies, Allah open their way. Such a sacrifice. And the non-Muslims among them, Allah make it a means of their hidayah. Allah bless them with the gift of hidayah. Imagine, subhanallah, people from New Zealand, people from Italy, people from where and where, over 40 countries of the world, having heart for the people of Gaza, Ya Allah. Among them a youngster, 18 years old, caring for the children of Gaza. The Sahabi asked Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Oh Allah's Nabi, there was good deeds I would do in my past. Will I be rewarded with thawab now that I'm Muslim? Allah's Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to the Sahabi, Hazrat Hakim bin Hizam radiallahu anhu, the good that you carried out in the past became the means through which Allah gave you hidayah today. Allah reward these brothers. Let's make dua. Du'as definitely reach. If each dua is a missile, each dua has an impact. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah would say, Sihamul layli la tukhti, walakin laha amadun walil amadin qidaw. He would say, never underestimate dua. La tahza bid dua, wa tazdari. Never look down upon it. Never think that it's useless, because you don't know what dua can do. The arrows at night, the arrows of the night never miss. But there's a period for it to reach. But yes, du'as are accepted. Let's beg dua, beg Allah for Gaza. And let's continue boycotting these goods that support genocide and murder of innocent people. Let's look for alternatives. There's so much that Muslims have manufactured. And those who are companies selling these goods, Allah will reward you. Make orders from Muslim countries. Give them a better position in your store. Allah will reward you for that. Allah will bless you for that. And that is care for our brothers, because the beloved of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, he who cares not for the ummah is not of us. مَا لَمْ يَهْتَمَّ بِأَمْرِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ فَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ. Allah give us tawfiq.